Blake Lively was caught on tape talking about how she manipulates people around her in order to take control of the movies upon which she works. Oops, turns out that was a bad tactic. Let's break down what happened and how it all backfired. It began with a shocking audio clip that tore through Hollywood rumor mills like wildfire. Suddenly, America's golden girl, Blake Lively, wasn't looking so untouchable anymore. Hushed whispers claimed she'd gone behind the scenes with a vengeance, forcing her creative input onto scripts, stifling co-stars, and roping in A-list friends like Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift to back her up. For a while, the public wasn't sure whom to believe, especially when Justin Baldoni, best known for steering heartfelt projects, landed in the middle of the storm. Was he the victim of a power grab, or was he pulling strings from behind the curtain? And how did an unexpected cameo in Deadpool vs. Wolverine turn up the heat on one of Hollywood's most baffling feuds? If you think you've heard the full story, buckle up. Before any tape leaked or any high-profile argument played out, insiders whispered that Blake Lively wasn't the type to be just another pretty face. Early on, she made it clear that she wanted a seat at the creative table. If that meant stepping on toes, so be it. While many admired her ambition, it also ruffled feathers.
Blake is in June of 2024. Blake's cut is chosen to be shown at Book Bonanza, and Justin and his editing team haven't even seen it. I mean, they haven't even seen it, and that's in a text message that they're not allowed to.
Justin Baldoni, on the other hand, carved out a career marked by uplifting, emotional storytelling. He was the driving force behind heartfelt projects that aimed to spark conversations and empathy. From the outside, it seemed improbable these two would ever cross swords. Then came a film project rumored to cast them as co-stars. At first, fans were ecstatic, believing Lively's star power and Baldoni's vision could produce a captivating collaboration. But rumblings of friction started almost immediately. Studio insiders hinted that Lively was already discussing major script changes before her contract was even finalized. Baldoni's team brushed it off as typical Hollywood talk, but the seeds of resentment had been planted. Still, no one could have predicted just how messy it would get once that now infamous tape surfaced.
It's just as important to say, okay, I believe in this, and that's why I'm standing up for it, and that's why I'm not being difficult. And then there are other moments to go like, am I in the room? Like, what is happening here? I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in because I felt like I don't want to just like be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship.
The real drama exploded when rumors leaked about a private conversation supposedly featuring Blake Lively detailing exactly how she positions herself to gain creative control. On that alleged tape, she talks about timing her suggestions so producers see her as invaluable and reveals how she feigns compliance, right up until she's in a position to steer the narrative her way. To onlookers, it sounded like a well-orchestrated takeover strategy. Adding fuel to the fire was the rumor that she'd convened her inner circle, Ryan Reynolds, known for his sharp wit, and Taylor Swift, a megastar in her own right, for a private meeting. The objective? Some claim it was a last-minute push to pressure Justin Baldoni and the production team to alter key scenes in the script. Suddenly, the Hollywood rumor mill kicked into high gear, with questions swirling about Lively's true motivations. Was she, in fact, stepping up as an uncredited producer to elevate the film, or was she overstepping? Even more startling was how the public narrative shifted once certain snippets of that alleged tape were passed around to journalists. No one could argue that it sounded controlling, even if it wasn't illegal, but that wasn't the whole story. For a moment, it seemed Justin Baldoni might be under fire. He's had a squeaky clean image, but in the age of instant social media storms, any star can find themselves in the crosshairs. Were we about to see skeletons tumble from Baldoni's closet, Or was he simply the unfortunate target of Lively's behind-the-scenes power plays?
Harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years, together collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking, we never had an issue before the break. And then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these demands. I met them at their place, and Ryan blows up on me, and then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some criminal.
As more people hear more alleged tapes, the tide turned dramatically. Fans and film buffs alike started pointing fingers at Lively, criticizing her for stepping over professional boundaries. Social media was flooded with comments like, "She's an actor, not a scriptwriter." Support for Baldoni surged as fans labeled him a victim of manipulative tactics, someone just trying to protect his creative vision from Lively's unstoppable ambition.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors.
Suddenly, it was Lively, not Baldoni, who was at the center of a PR nightmare. Even some well-known critics, previously neutral on the matter, began praising Baldoni for maintaining a calm front while quietly dealing with what they perceived as an onslaught from a much bigger star. The story kept developing, but the public sentiment was leaning heavily in favor of Justin Baldoni. When the dust finally settles on Blake Lively's alleged manipulations and the rumored standoff with Justin Baldoni, one truth remains. What we've seen might only be the beginning. For Lively, the stakes are higher than ever. Any misstep could be taken as further evidence of her rumored behind-the-scenes dominance. Baldoni, riding a wave of public sympathy, has to tread carefully too. If revelations paint him in a different light, that support could vanish overnight. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. In an era where audience scrutiny is sharper than ever, every move a star makes can either cement their legacy or send them hurtling from grace. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Hollywood's latest swirling rumor mill. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Blake Lively's push for creative control crossed the line? Or is Hollywood simply resisting a strong woman's ambitions? Weigh in with your comments and theories below. And get ready, because there's no telling when the next revelation will break. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video.